back. It's Friday, ladies and gentlemen. That means it's time for another episode of the comic book showdown of Ultimate Destiny. Woohoo! Today, Destiny will choose 3 indie comic campaigns for us to review. After offering tips, we'll choose one of those to back and support, because in the end,
there can be only one.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome, Smurf. How are you doing this fine Friday?
I am excellent. It's dreary outside. I'm waiting for a nice rain or just something. And we are getting ready for Cosmic Con this weekend. Both you and I will be there.
That's right.
Under different working premises. You will be, of course, tabling, and I will be there as media for 5280 Geek, running around taking pictures. And we're going to get pictures taken, right? Together, like prom, Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna get some my prom pictures and get some pictures together at this upcoming show. That'll be good.
That'll be good. That'll be good. Not to outdo you and your photogenic cosplay girlfriend. You two are just so cute together. It's like, oh.
Yeah, well, she makes me look good. It's a benefit of dating a cosplayer. They always know exactly the right lighting and how to do everything so it looks good. So it's all her.
It's all her. It's all where the magic lies. But you and I have a different skill set. You and I like to work to better people's futures, to bring the rainbow of knowledge, if you will.
the rainbow, the reading rainbow.
Reading. I was not going to go there, but that did creep into the big dome. I was like, oh God, I'm starting to sound like LeVar Burton.
Yeah, go LeVar. All right. If you guys are watching, be sure and share this out. Share it on social media. Let everyone else who's watching see what we're doing here. I'm going to go ahead and share this into one of the groups. A lot of times, though, these groups, they take a while to approve. So by the time they approve it, the show's already over. But that's all right. That's all right. It's worth trying. People can still see it later.
The show does go on.
That's right. So, like Smurf was saying, our goal here is to help people succeed in making their comics. This show is about strategies for comic success, because although there's a lot of money being made and brought in for just the comic book category alone on Kickstarter, not every one of them succeeds. In fact, only 42% of all Kickstarter campaigns actually succeed. And so over the years of doing campaigns ourselves, as well as doing this show, we've learned a lot of things. We've learned what's working, what's not working, and we want to pass that knowledge on to you so that you don't make the same mistakes. You can start making that money as soon as possible. Isn't that right, sir?
That's right. We both have a very long, illustrious past in comic books. I've owned a couple of comic book stores. I have a degree in marketing and broadcast, so I've seen it come, go, come back again. Some succeed, some don't. And what is worse, and this is something Matt and I have been talking about, the publishers, the big publishers now, are getting in on the Kickstarter campaign side of things. Because if you didn't notice, April 6th, Marvel, or whoever has the rights to the original Transformers series, will be doing a collected edition, all of the original Marvel and UK books from the Transformers. So, not cool, guys. Like they need Kickstarter money.
I know. Yeah, I mean, first they did it with, G.I. Joe. I mean, I kind of expected it after I saw the G.I. Joe that they were going to do that with a lot of their older books that have these big, long runs. So I would expect to see some more of that. I don't know if it's already been done, but they'll probably put out like a Ninja Turtles run of all the old original books on Kickstarter.
I don't know.
That might have already been done.
Maybe. I don't know. To be honest with you, with Nickelodeon owning the rights to the Turtles, I'm not sure where that ends up. To be honest with you.
Well, do they own the rights to everything Turtles? or just things that are on television? Because I still see, just blanked on his name, but one of the creators,
Well, you see, Eastman and Laird.
Eastman. I still see him out at comic shop or Comic Cons, like signing books and slinging books and stuff like that. So maybe they have rights to anything that's on television, but not comics.
I think it's a joint.
I mean, because put it this way, like Hasbro still owns GI Joe and Transformers when it comes to anything toy wise or movie wise, but Kirkman definitely has the rights to make the comics.
Oh yeah, and I think that also comes down to like marketing and all of that, because I know Laird sold his rights altogether. He has nothing involved in it. That's how come you only see Eastman most of the time. And there's been, speculation and fallout between the two of them, and supposedly they've kissed and made up. But I don't know. I guess it just depends on. I mean, they got paid a big fat paycheck. I mean, huge. So
that's what we like to hear around here: big fat paychecks.
Big fat paycheck.
Speaking of big fat paychecks, if you'd like to sponsor this show,
sponsorship options are available. Yes, sir. If you want your name out there with us and exposed, I hate that, but exposure
fully
dollars,
exposed.
fully exposed. There are a lot of eyes on it. So if you are a comic book retailer or creator or something along those lines, and you would like to sponsor us, please, by all means, send us a direct message. We would love to start the conversation.
Let's see. Jenny's online with this saying that, so Jenny's around the corner in another room because she was helping me pack comics for the latest Kickstarter campaign. So for all of you that are backing, the books are being packed today. But she could only hear my side of the conversation because I have headphones on. She can't hear you. So she went and logged in so she could hear it. BMD is with us. He said, I see a number of second-tier companies, Image, Dark Horse, having crowdfund campaigns, and that's always weird to me. Yeah, that's kind of what we were talking about earlier. These companies are doing this, and this is going to be the future, guys. It's one of the reasons why this show is, I think, so important, because the bar is going to be raised on Kickstarter and other platforms, because you're going to have bigger companies putting their books out on Kickstarter, largely due to all the chaos that's going on from Diamond and the distribution challenges, as well as, some other issues going on. And so that means they're going to be on there, which means your book is going to be out there with side by side with those, and that means that your presentation has to be something that's going to catch their eye and be competitive, because people only have so many dollars to spread around,
It's true.
So yeah, it's not going to go away anytime soon, that these smaller, I wouldn't say, they're small companies, obviously, but these, not the big two, they're going to be on Kickstarter. Worst case scenario, we start seeing DC and Marvel on Kickstarter, and then we're really screwed.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, HasLab has made a career of doing Kickstarter programs in indie campaigns for Transformers, for GI Joe, for Thundercats under Super 7. So I see this as the trend, because production costs and all that are too expensive. So not a lot left for the shelf or for the little retail.
Yep. My good buddy Dead Cosmos, aka Josh, is with us. Says he's packing boxes to his new place, but he wants to come by and say hi. I'll have you on in the background. So hopefully you can hear this, Josh, right now. You need to send me your new address, because I just this morning packed up your Kickstarter and it's going to your old address. So if you have a new address that you're moving to, you need to message it to me so I can make a new label before I send it out, or I can just meet you somewhere and hand it to you. But I want to give a shout out to our winner last week. We had a great show last week, and in the end, our winner was the Path of the Pale Rider by Lori Calcaterra. Lori had a ton of extra goodies and add-ons, everything from hot sauce to Funko Pops, all kinds of stuff. So as someone who's packaging up comics right now, that seems like a packaging nightmare.
I can imagine just packaging the hot sauce and it just breaking. Like,
Right, breaking all over a book or something.
right?
Right,
'Cause,
but she's been doing this for a while now, and I think she's got it down pat. I haven't heard anybody complaining, so I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
I love my new comic. It just reeks of hot sauce. It's like scratch and sniff.
All right. So yeah, that was our winner last week, and then this week, man, we have a ton of entries this week. For two reasons. One, I think there's just kind of a lot more people who are seeing the show right now, but also there's a lot more campaigns on Kickstarter. It's starting to rise back up again during December and like January. It slows down to a dull roar, but now we're back up and hitting that like close to 300 campaigns, at any given time. Probably for the rest of the summer, it's going to be that way, which again means that if you're putting something on Kickstarter, you got to make sure that you're getting people's attention. So one of the tips that we always offer people here is you can't just make your campaign targeted towards your previous backers. You need to expand and grow. So you always want to treat every new campaign, even if it's like, I'm on my 10th issue now, you treat it like it's, the very first time people are seeing it. And that's going to help you expand a lot more and get new people and grow a lot more. BMD has a good question for us. He says, what random food item would you include with Mythica? I'd probably say some sort of whiskey, because Magnus is Scottish. or a cigar, maybe.
Cigar. I mean, haggis would be the thing, but I don't think that transports well.
No, it does not.
What's a Scottish pastry?
I just blanked. Well, there's
you are
blood pudding.
Scotsman. Oh no, that doesn't work well.
That's not really a pastry, though.
No, it's not a pastry. I mean,
I don't know. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Bourbon shooters, little Lagavulin, Macallan. Oh, there we go.
Dead Cosmo says Run Brew.
There you go.
Which I've only had that like one time. It's like this weird drink of some sort. But
you'd have to do something like off the something unique.
Well, yeah, like I had thought about that. There's a couple of different whiskey companies, and I wanted to do an ad where Magnus was either that or coffee. Where because there's already been a shot in the book where Magnus is drinking coffee. But I wanted to either have like a Scottish brand coffee, or like there for a while there the what was that death coffee that was to be like the advertisement in the book, but so another pastry. Julie says shortbread would be another pastry. Again, I think it would be awesome to have that, but man, what a challenge packaging that stuff. If I could get little like shooter size whiskey bottles, that would be cool. Of course, I'd probably run into some, shipping problems about like, does this contain alcohol or, something like that. I mean, there's probably some laws about that.
There's probably a few. And then you also have to card them. You have to make sure the person that's getting this is,
is actually the right age. Yes, there's all kinds of problems.
But I would go with like a nice Scottish peat whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because I'm not Scotch. No.
You don't. I don't like really peaty Scotch. No. I like the smoother stuff, especially the ones that have been distilled in like a sherry cask.
Yep.
They get that nice smooth down the throat. Man, that sounds good right now because my throat's sore today. Maybe that's what I need to go find is some whiskey and some honey and make me some hot toddy.
Yep, a little pat of butter, some lemon juice. That'll fix you up real good.
All right, real quick, I want to open up the Wheel of Destiny and show who is on this wheel. We got a bunch of different people today.
Look at that thing busting at the seams.
Yeah, I love it. I love it when it's this full. Let's see. Down the list here, we've got Dawn and the Dead by Austin Janowski. Austin's got, I think, 2 different campaigns on here this time. Confederate Monster. Amor Patris, which I think is the other one by Austin. The Jump. Upheaval #1. Phenomenova issues 1 and 2. I don't know if that name sounds familiar to you, Smurf, but we had Phenomenova picked by the wheel last year for issue 1.
Yeah.
We got one called Zombie Date Night. Another one called Dead Gene, The Ballad of Nod. Evie and the Helsings. A more all ages book called Malia Mayhem. And Immortal Era, which is I think on its 10th issue as well. So there's a bunch of cool stuff going on. And I'm excited. I'm excited for getting to the wheel. Are you excited?
Oh, yeah.
Are you ready? Shall we do this thing?
Let's spin that wheel.
Let's fucking go.
There can be only one Highlander type situation. Behold, my wheel of
Destiny.
Pitter patter, let's get at her.
Time to spin the wheel.
Pitter patter, let's get at her. All right. I'm gonna have to scrounge around for a blank piece of paper to write our winner on. I should have plenty nearby with all the packing I've been doing, but we'll find it.
You are an artist, so I figure paper is like a.
Yes, but it means getting up out of the seat. All right, number 1. Who's it gonna be? Number 1, Amor Patris. I believe that's another one of Austin's books, so congratulations, Amor Patris. I'll write this down on this one here. Definitely going to need a new piece of paper. All right, we'll take that one off the wheel, leaving us with 11 entries. Let's see who Destiny decides is going to be on today's Comic Book Showdown. Looks like a returning winner, Phenomenova. Congratulations. And then there was one more. Look at all that red spinning around. Leaving us with Confederate Monsters. All right. Got some good choices. Congratulations to everyone else. I do want to give a shout out to a couple of these. Immortal Era is on its 10th issue and only has 10 hours to go on their campaign. So be sure and check that one out. There's another one that this is another Austin Janowski one called Dawn and the Dead. That one's only got 66 hours to go. So another pretty cool sounding one. We'll check that one out. Let's see. Then we've got The Jump, which got 13 days to go, which may end up making it on our wheel next week because we still have every Friday going on. So, and then we have another one like that called The Upheaval, which has got 14 days to go. So quite a bit. Let me make sure I got all of these 3 that we need pulled up. Confederate Monster. Oh, wait, I already got Confederate Monster. I'm missing Phenomenova. Phenomena. Phenomena. There we go. All right.
That's gonna get stuck in my head now for.
Okay, so are we ready to dive in and take a look at these 3 comic book campaigns and see which one captures our attention? All right, guys. Remember that we are going to choose one at the end to back and support. So we want to know which ones you think are worth backing and supporting. Lori says, "Woohoo! Let's see who the wheel picks this week." Yes, it's exciting. The wheel is such a fun part of this show. I love it.
I thought you were going to say it was us and our little banter.
That's also awesome.
No one. I mean,
All right,
nothing's fallen on my head lately, so
I know we're kind of missing that. Like maybe I should prop up my Darth Vader up above my head and we'll see if it gets lucky and falls over.
There we go.
All right, first up on the list is Amor Patris 1 and 2, a supernatural horror. The tagline says, "Exorcisms are real. Something lurks in the shadows, watching and waiting. Immerse yourself into blood, death, and madness." So if you're here for romance, you're in the wrong place.
I mean, I've had some dysfunctional relationships in the past, but
so it sets the tone. Like we know that it's dark, it's bloody, it's death, it's madness, and it's a supernatural horror. So let's see what this video tells us about some more details about this thing. So let's go full screen over here and full screen on this. A 1-minute video.
Jesus.
It's almost done. Okay. Okay. What did you guys think of the audience of that video? What was the vibe? Lori says it was creepy. I definitely felt that a little bit. I'm a little torn, so I want to hear what you have to say first.
I'm of two minds of this, and
I think, yeah,
I'm with you, and I think I know where we're going. I like it. It kind of feels like the trailer for a horror film, which there's nothing wrong with that. However, this isn't that kind of setting. The text, albeit, is good, but it's lost in the background. It's not. The font needs to be changed. It needs to be bigger or somehow called to attention. You got my attention with the screen. No doubts about it. Was not expecting that. Way cool. However, once you get my attention, you serve me up with some Benedictine monks, and I start to lose interest. I'm interested, but the pace is needs to be quickened a bit, and you need to change that font because it is very difficult to read. Now, the images that appeared, I don't know if that's those pages out of the book or if those are clippings from exorcisms that have been documented. From what I've read from her text, because she had my attention. The pacing and the timing on that is perfect, but I don't know if that's interior art or what that is. So I am curious, and I do want to know more. But I would change that font completely. Maybe find something a little bit more, I don't know, speed it up a little bit. I don't know. I like the Benedictine monks, but I would have transitioned into something else.
All right, so I think we are pretty well have some similar contradictions and how we feel. Like I felt like if I watched this thing without sound, the visuals match, like are creepy. They show a lot of stuff. I like how it was trying to break down, the main points of the story, like the who, what, when, and why. And so it really, clearly, although I don't always love reading everything in a video, I feel like everything was up there long enough. And, it went through all the different stages. I'm pretty sure the artwork that we're seeing is from the book. We're going to find out here in a second when we scroll down. But yeah, the pacing was, a little on the slower side for me. I don't know that I would have stuck with it, and all the way to the end if I had just been like coming across it. But I do love the artwork. I like right here. I love the background red vibe moving. I think that you could have found some simple ways to speed it up. Like, for instance, in this case, we're reading 2 points. Point 3, the Clash, the Exorcist, and the Demon Fight for the Soul. And then we also had the 4th one. So if you had broken that up into 2 different sections, each one lasting 3 seconds, it's going to switch a little bit faster and move pace a little bit faster, because we had the same thing for 1 and 2. So that's one way that you could speed it up.
Right. And I don't know if having someone read it, like, so whoever's doing
if you had like the right, like a Vincent Price voice, it would be sick. I think
totally. If you had Vincent Price or Sean Connery, because I was watching this, I was getting like Highlander vibes, like, okay, since the dawn of time, and I could see like, or a Vincent Price-esque monologue that I could also
see something kind of like I like a voice that's similar to something you hear on like America's Most Wanted, because it's like not all exorcisms are officially documented. Some don't, not all are successful. Like, they're trying to make this feel like it's this real, vibe. And so maybe, something like that would be a cool addition. But again, you got to find the right voice for it.
You got to find the right voice. I would say British, maybe a good Italian accent.
Maybe, yeah.
Not the cast type that British people are the villains, but most of the time.
Or Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. I mean, he's just hanging out, right? But I mean, let's face it, some British baddie would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Voicing.
I'm pretty sure you could find like a British actor voice on Fiverr for relatively inexpensive.
I mean, Tom Hardy. I mean, he's not doing anything now that Venom's over. So let's just
he's not doing anything. No one can afford Tom Hardy. So again, the positives. This video did a really good job in setting the tone of the supernatural horror, the exorcism. It also did a really good job in telling me what's happening in this story, at least in the overall story, because it's talking about, there's a demon, it has to be exorcised, and not all exorcisms are successful. I think the one of the questions that I have, which I'm intrigued enough to go down and look farther, is this story 2 issues? Is it 3? Is it 10? And is all of the stuff you just told me happening throughout all of those, or is this happening in this one issue? That's what I don't know yet.
Because I mean, the hook is perfect, the intro is great, but how much of a ride are we in store for?
Yeah. All right, let's find out what else it tells us real quick. A couple of more hook lines. Do you believe in the devil? You don't? Well, you should. You really, really should. In the chilling world of Amor Patris, the first issue thrusts the reader into a narrative of blood, death, and terrifying unknown. Sheriff Reeves arrives at the Anderson farm at what he first believes to be a routine disturbance, but something far more sinister lurks in the shadows. Well, that's issue 1. But this says this is issues 1 and 2. So I assume, there we go. Now down below it says, like issue 1, this next installment is 28 pages. Love that he's telling us that. Okay. It's 8 by 10.5. That's magazine size.
Ooh, it is.
Artwork is done by the talented Hernan Gonzalez. And this is an homage to classic horror. I do love the artwork. It looks great in black and white. Here's some sample pages. So yes, those images are from the book.
That's some impressive work right there.
So I guess one of the things that here we go. In issue 2, Sheriff Reeves returns to a local priest for guidance. The collaboration unearths information about a mysterious father and son duo performing unsanctioned exorcisms across America. As Sheriff Reeves grapples with the implications of his findings, will he uncover the truth before it's too late, or will he fall victim to the very evil he seeks to combat? Okay. So I feel like that's good information about what I'm getting for issue 2. We've got some variant covers. I think the only question I still have unanswered is this story done after 2 issues? Is this the complete story? I don't find anywhere in here that it's telling me whether or not this is ongoing. There's more to the story. Anything like that. I'm assuming there is.
And I think it with the video kind of sets the stage for more, as there's more exorcisms to come. So not all of them are documented. So I could see this would be kind of a fun vehicle to explore different possessions.
Oh man, yeah, this is heading right down the paths of like
Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt. I was thinking of something I just blanked on, but the Keanu Reeves Constantine.
Oh, Constantine.
And so, after one exorcism, you can go on to the next problem, and that's cool. I like that we've set the stage for that. What I'm trying to find out is this exorcism is kind of being, set up. We know that there's a sheriff. He's shown up. He's gotten someone to come help him. So, is this particular story arc done in 2 issues? Is there going to be another issue after this? That kind of thing. That's all I'm trying to get clear. But other than that, everything's here. It's looking good. We've got collector's kit. There's a lot of add-ons. We've got T-shirts. We've got merchandise. Look at all this merchandise. We've got wine glasses, coasters, mugs, bookmarks, buttons. Again, I'm assuming on some of these, because I partner with a print-on-demand company, and so what some of this stuff might do is like direct ship to you just the glass, separate from the books, that kind of thing, which is still a great way to do it. You're just going to get 2 packages, but you also have to keep in mind, if anybody's going to do this, you have to consider shipping twice, because if they're drop shipping from a printer, they're going to charge you shipping. And then you also have to pay shipping for the books. So you have to keep that in mind. Unless, he's doing it another way. I don't know. We got metal prints, some metal trading cards, just so many different things. And then this is a fun one. Free comic bundle, new digital comic added to all backers when the milestone is reached. And so we've unlocked this one at 50 backers and the second one at 60 backers. And so for each 10 backers, there's another digital comic. Looks like these are just from all different indie creators around. So again, that collaboration thing, it's always a great thing to see as well. Yep. So all in all, this is a really solid presentation. Let's take one quick look at the rewards. We've got the digital version of issue 2 for $7. 28 pages for $7. The deluxe digital, we get issue 2 with added content plus the script for $10. And then we get digital 2 catch up, which gives you issue 1 and all that other stuff. Looks like there's quite a few people in that one. And then we get into the hard copies, $15. So this one gets you the issues 1 and 2 in digital format plus extra content and all the extra stuff. So there's like 4 different digital rewards. That's great. And all of them have backers on it. So again, digital rewards are really big, especially when you have an ongoing series. And so just of the digital rewards alone, 4, 9, 20. So he's almost got 40 backers just in digital rewards alone.
And that's a value add, because I mean, it cuts on your shipping. It's an easy sell because as people are scrolling through, they want all of it. They are greedy nerds. It's not just me.
Mm-hmm.
And they want, total stories. And if you're collaborating with other creators, this is a great vehicle for them to promote you and you promote them. So I see this as a big win. This is a very well thought out execution. This is very well done.
Yep. I'm going to scroll down a little faster on some of these because there's a lot of different levels. We're getting into the 80s, 85. Collector's kit is 130. So we got a whale tier. Be in the story for $200. Get drawn in the comic. After submitting a photo, you'll become forever immortalized as a character in issue 2. Looks like there's only 6 spots available because they have it all planned out. You can be a doctor, a priest, a coroner, a meth dealer, or a social worker.
I don't know. I mean,
I've always wanted to be a meth dealer.
Yeah, I don't know with these teeth that would work. I would really love to be the coroner or the priest. That would be exciting.
Yeah.
I just be the coroner and just crack open a body and just go, that'd be great. I love it. What was the goal? What is their goal on this? I don't think you said.
So that's a great question. I think I skipped right over that. So let's go back up to the top. Their goal was $2,950, so $2,950. They are currently at $1,800, so somewhere around 60%. With 21 days to go. So they're only like a third of the way through the campaign. So they're well on track. And so I think that, and I know I've seen Austin in a lot of the groups. I know he's going to get a lot of support from other comic creators. And he's doing a good job with presenting everything that he needs to get new creators. Or not new creators, but just new supporters. So all in all, I think this is a really well done campaign, Austin. Good job.
Great job. The only thing that I can suggest from a critical point is start pushing the whale tier of have you always wanted to be in a comic book? Have you ever thought about fighting demons? I would start approaching that to get you a little quicker and closer to that goal. Because if you do kind of a reverse hook like that, there is the opportunity for someone to just kind of latch on to that and go, oh, yeah. So that's really it. I mean, this is, and besides the video with the text, I'm damn good job.
Yeah, and another thing that is something we've mentioned before, but Austin, if you're listening, I would definitely step outside of the realm of the comic community with this one. You've got a really nice presentation here. This would really appeal to a lot of the horror and supernatural readers. So see if there's some groups for books and other things like that on like Facebook, and try to show this stuff to them in that aspect. The challenge with it sometimes is to not come off too advertising right out of the gate and just be like, hey guys, I'm also an author and I'm working on this cool book and this is what it's about. And then if you get some feedback, you can start dropping, links and stuff. But also I would say dropping some flyers at like a bookstore, not just comic shops, but some bookstores to get, like I said, I think people who are not necessarily hardcore comic readers. A lot of people think comics are just superheroes and spandex. And so I think this would appeal to a lot more people than you think if you can step outside of that a little bit. But all in all, this is a really nice looking campaign. Good job. Yep. Let's go on to the next one, which is Phenomenova. Phenomenova. All right, let's see. Let me switch to this tab. Still looking good. There we go. All right. Phenomenova issues 1 and 2 down to the core. 20 years after World War III, the idealistic son of a war hero strikes out to become a superhero inspired by his father's legacy. So I was a little thrown off by the word strikes out because I always, think of baseball terms that's a negative. But I think he meant, goes out into the world.
Yeah, striking out on his own.
Yes.
Meanwhile, in the Hall of Justice. Yes.
This is created, it says Rebel Oasis Studios. I don't remember. Vaughn Coleman maybe is who the creator is. But they have $1,000 goal. They're at 1562. So they've hit their goal almost by 150%, or actually over 150%. With 6 days to go. So they're trucking right along. So let's see what this video tells us. Going full screen.
I just want it to be like the Crusader Corps. Like my father. I thought with my new powers I could be. But I failed. I let everyone down. I got people hurt. I just wanted to make the world a better place. And instead I made things worse. Now I have the chance to make things right with the help of one of the Crusader Corps. The Phoenix section. And I will. I have to. Whatever it takes. I will find that spark again.
Well, that doesn't look good. Coming January, this is March. All right. What did you think, my man? What did you guys think out in the announcement or in the chat? Sorry.
In the chat. I like it, but there's a feature when you're recording voice work, if you're using an editor, called normalization, and that weird influx tin can noise, and then your audio spikes, drops back down. It's like you're recording it in two different sessions, and it's not matching up. So if you're not going to record it all at once, so it sounds consistent and the same, don't do it. Even if you are still cutting it up and adding it to your timeline, you can still chop it up. Just record it all at once, and that way it sounds the same, and it's cohesive. Because that was annoying me. The tin can
where he got loud.
Yeah, like all of a sudden it just spiked. I do love the emotion and the emoting through the delivery and the dialogue and all of that is great. It works. And then I like the constitutionals at the end. Our buddy Mike Barron, of course, is one of the contributors singing their praises, and it's great. It perfectly lined up, so all of that works, and it did keep me engaged. That I didn't want to click onto the next frame. So yeah, I mean, you got my attention. There you go.
So BMD Nerd brings up an interesting point that I was kind of feeling as well. So your campaign video, one of the most important things that it does is set the tone. And whatever we feel in the video is most often what we want to expect to feel in the comic. And BMD said it seems interesting, but it's really gloomy in the beginning. And that was the tone that I got. It was really kind of this downtrodden. And I'm like, is that what I'm expecting in this book? So my vibe is like, oh, this is going to be sort of a sad type of book.
And I did get
Uh,
that feel. But you know what it made me think of? It kind of made me think of like Spider-Man, where he's
Did you
always
see BMD's other post?
no.
He
What did
said,
he say?
"Okay, Peter Parker."
Exactly. I mean, it's not as bad as like Al Simmons Spawn sitting in an alley, moaning and bitching for 25 issues, but it's but you get a feel of just like the weight of being a hero, and I kind of like, and maybe there does need to be kind of an uptick, and maybe that's where the audio change is trying to emphasize, not giving up in that situation. It's better to emote it than to kick your gain up to get attention across. So, but no, I agree. It did feel very, very Spider-Man. Oh, woe is me.
Yeah. I mean, there were just so many shots of either he was, getting he was getting clobbered, or he was like head down, sad. There was one shot where he was like, in someone's arms, and then here's another shot where someone's talked to. This reminds me of the scene from Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it was the second one,
Yep.
where like, they tell him his mom died.
Yep, sitting Peter down. Yep.
And so, yeah, I mean, there was just a lot to absorb, emotionally, which is great. I mean, they're using the emotional hook really well. So a lot of the vibe I got from like this is what I'm gonna do. This is I want to be this. This is what I'm gonna be, and so hopefully, the book delivers on that. We'll see. So,
I mean, and it does have a lot of like Wanted feels, the comic series from Image.
yeah, I remember that too.
So, I mean, I can see the potential and them dealing more on the humanity aspect of it. So, I mean, honestly, let's see what the pages look like and how he tries to shape it, spin it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So down the story section, I'll see if I can find some more valuable information. The opening line says, "In order to become a hero, the old Galva Knight must be burned away." I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means. Is that like the non-stick coating on my pan? What's the Galva Knight?
The Galva Knight. Right. And so I like where he's going with that. Like, if he just said, in order to become a hero, Miles must burn away the old, and can he survive the fire? Just keeping it sort of generic as a term, because I don't know what a Galvanite is. After failing to strike out on his own as a superhero, Miles faces the repercussions of his actions. In order to redeem himself and gain full control over his powers, Miles begins his training with the Phoenix Senshi, a veteran superhero who fought during World War III. However, in order to truly become a superhero, Miles must dig into the core of who he is. Reminds me of like Karate Kid or something, and rediscover his reasons for why he wants to be a hero. This 24-page issue is a follow-up to the giant-sized first issue, picking up right where the first book left off. So again, we have that opening scene. I love this cover. This is a really cool cover. It reminds me a bit of I think there was like a I'm spacing the name. The old Image comics. I can't even think of it right now. I'm drawing a blank. Witchblade, and she's holding the head of the darkness, or like holding like she's gonna. It reminds me of those kind of vibes. There's fire on the floor.
Yep,
it's very cool looking cover.
Make me feel of like old school Byrne with the Fantastic Four, where Gladiator's holding everybody, and that kind of reminiscent to that nice little tribute. But no,
really professional, clean looking cover artwork. Very classic comic book look. So kudos to whoever's doing that artwork. Looks great. We've got some variant covers, will be limited edition and campaign exclusive. So I love hearing that too. That gives the people a reason to come to Kickstarter and back it, because they can only get it here on Kickstarter. That's a good thing to add. We got another cover here. Nice action montage cover. That's a cool looking cover. Then we got some back cover stuff, interior pages, and then a creative team. That's a lot of people working on this book.
Oh wow.
We got editors and assistant editors and graphic designers. And then a lot of these bottom ones are variant cover artists. So
all for $1,000. Damn, this guy's shopping.
that's the thing that's killing me. It's like, how are you getting all these people to do this for $1,000?
Wow, for $1,000. Damn, bargain.
Yeah,
Hire
yeah.
that team.
I know the cover art colorist here, Jesse Hege. He's worked on a couple of my books, and a couple of my covers. So he's a really talented colorist. All right, let's take a look at the rewards. One thing I would add real quick here to whoever's making this campaign, over on the left, you'll see here it says there's only one button. It says risks. That's the default button that's automatically built in to the Kickstarter campaign. But every time you make something, you can create a highlight. And so over here on the left, people can jump to it. So right here where it says creative team, while you're making it, if you right click on this and highlight it, you can say, make this a headline. And now it's going to appear over here on the left. This is going to give people the ability to jump to the thing that they're most interested in. And it's a very helpful tool because people are impatient. They just want to know. So they might want to jump down to like what the rewards are or what the interiors look like. And they don't want to read about the creative team. And so you want to give them that option, and it helps tremendously. Over here on the right, we've got Phenomenova PDF for $5. That's a great
Perfect price point. Perfect price point.
Digital catch-up gets you, I assume, issues 1 and 2, a PDF for $10. Then we have our hardback or our physical copies, $10, $10, $10, all the way down. A physical catch-up, which includes issues 1 and 2 main covers for $30. So these are really like simple, direct to the price points. I mark mine up just a little bit more than that, but I'm including a lot of other goodies. So I include a PDF with the physical copy. I include a thank you page where everyone can see their name in the book. And then sometimes I'll include stickers and prints and things that automatically come with the book to get that price point to feel like it's, worth the value. So $10 is good. It definitely should get a lot of support. John Westhoff is with us here. Welcome, John. Rock on, buddy. There's a VIP level for $500. You get 10 of each cover of Phenomenova issues 2, 5 copies of issue 1, and 10 of each stretch go award. I think that seems more like a retailer.
Yeah, it's a retailer.
It sounds like retailers here.
Yeah.
So maybe renaming that. And then there's a producer tier. This is a tool that I've used before and did on my last campaign. For $1,000, you get 20 of each cover of Phenomenova, 10 copies of issue 1, 20 of each stretch goal. So, and your name in the credits as producer. So on the one hand, I think it's great that you have a producer tier. I think it's great that it's $1,000. But what am I going to do with 20 of each cover? Or 20 of whatever the stretch goals are? All right. That sounds more like a retailer exclusive. I don't know. What do you guys think? I would be more interested in something more valuable, has more tangible value. So for instance, my producer tier on my last campaign came with one of everything that was offered, every cover, every single book, but then it also came with the original art to the cover, which alone was like a $600 value. And it came framed by one of those frames from Collect to Display, an 11x17 frame. So that's what they get. And so they have this big framed piece of artwork on the wall of the original, plus all the interior books. Another way to do that would be to say you get all the books plus maybe an original art piece of art from one of these mini artists that you have or something. But the multiples of things, I don't know. What do you guys think in the comments? To me, it only appeals to me if I'm a retailer.
Well, and it seems a bit, and I use this word lightly, but it seems like a bit of overkill. Unless there are that many variant covers to choose from, I would restructure that entirely. And I agree with you. I would go with either a original piece of art, or I would also consider doing variant blank covers for a sketch. You know, something that, you know, if there's something along those lines, it's easy, it's compact. The problem with the shipping of original art in a frame is the shipping. Prior to this, I mean, it was probably a little bit easier, and your winner for that actually picked it up from you at one of the events.
One of the previous ones, yeah, we did that. But in this case, one of the reasons that I partnered with Collect Display is that number one, there's no glass in the frames. Number two, Collect Display already has everything set up to ship her product out because she has an online store. So all we have to do is insert the original art and the books into her already sized box. And so we partnered together ahead of time on that so that it wasn't much of an issue.
Right.
BMD Nerd says, I understand getting a cover or two that you like, but I've never been into mass cover collecting. Yeah, like sometimes I'll get two of a book so I can read one and collect the other, but that's about it.
Yeah, I honestly would just trim that back. Digital all around, a physical copy, and a variant sketch from one of the artists or a print.
Yeah, and I would think, like, consider this. Whoever is doing this campaign, I forget the name, but you have like 3 or 4 variant covers, and it's surely at least one of those has an original art cover, and all these artists that are working for you, this is their best opportunity to sell that original art because these are your fans of your book. If they take an original art cover to a Comic-Con to try and sell it and no one knows what that book is, they're going to have a hard time selling it. So my guess is, I know for me, I'm all on board when a creator says, we're going to put your artwork up as a reward. What do you want for it?
Yep.
And so I might say, okay, I want, $600 for it or something. Then you can tack on top of that. Like, we're also going to give you books and we're going to give you this. So we're going to make the entire tier $1,000. You're going to get, the artist will get their money. And then the rest of the campaign gets its money and everybody's happy.
Yeah. I honestly would like a sketch cover of that one variant that's holding the kid. I honestly really would like to see that in a black and white sketch cover.
Thanks, Travis. Travis says you're doing the Lord's work. Well, I hope that these creators can hear this and it helps them in some way. That's our goal. And like I said, I've made these mistakes. I've done countless covers for people. And honestly, I have an ongoing package for people who come to me and say, hey, can you do a cover for me? Because my answer is always similar to what I just said. Like, here's the deal. I'll do the cover for this much up front, which is relatively low, like $100, $200. Right. But then they must list it as one of their tiers on their campaign. If it sells, great, give me the rest of the money that I need, which is like $500 or something, right? If it doesn't sell, then you owe me the difference. That gives them the opportunity to not have to pay it out of pocket by putting it and listing it up on their campaign. And they only have to pay me an upfront fee of a small amount. Because the thing is, like I was saying earlier, that's my best chance to sell that work. There's not a better place for me to sell that work than to the fans of the book I'm doing the cover for.
Sure.
So, but yeah, these covers look great. I'm sure somebody has an original that they'd be happy to sell. So that's what I would do. But all in all, again, I remember this campaign from last year, and I have seen a ton of improvements from this. So maybe it was from our show, maybe not. I don't know. But either way, this campaign is much improved over the last one. I still see a couple places that could be even stronger, but you're trucking right along. You've got 150% of goal. I feel like, you still want to be doing better because you have quite an expansive team of people to pay for. So $1,500 might not even cover it.
They're all his kids or his family. They're all just like, hey, we'll just sit around.
Or maybe he's already covered it all, and this is just like he just needs the money to print, and he doesn't really care about making that money back. I don't know. But either way, this is looking a lot better. So great job to whoever's putting this together.
Well done.
And that brings us to our third and final one. Sorry, an ad just popped up on Kickstarter for Time Cop, and it caught my attention.
Yes, next up is Confederate Monsters.
Confederate Monsters. Let's share this tab instead. There we go. All right. Again, this is another one we've also had on this show in the past. An older one of the previous issues of it. They are at a $3,000 goal at $2,000, so right at about 66%, with 26 days to go, which means that they jumped out of the gate pretty strong. This is created by Dave Schwartz, and if I remember this correctly, because I think I have one of the issues of this from a previous campaign, there's some pretty cool looking stuff in here. The tagline says, "The South will rise undead when the story of Frankenstein meets the Civil War." So that's a fun tagline. It gets the gist going. It makes me have questions, but in that good way. Then we have this very intriguing cover. Got these Confederate soldiers, zombied and looking all creepy. So let's see what the video tells us. It's nearly 2 minutes, so if you need to tap out, let me know.
Yeah. Where's my wife? Do you hear me? Dismount and walk forward.
Darling, you're home.
And waiting for you with loving arms.
Must you maul her like an animal, Daniel?
Calm yourself, Mrs. Stevenson. I'm just getting into character.
They both insisted upon hiring Daniel's patients to cater. I too thought it would look as unseemly as it does.
Is that all you discovered while befriending Mrs. Schmidt, my dear?
Dr. Schmidt fits the description of our target in nearly every way.
That's cool. All right. This is I want to zoom in on this look you've got going on right here. Can't tell if that's fearfully watching with anticipation or like, oh, what the hell am I watching? I don't know.
It's kind of a mixture of both, I guess. I felt like I had to like settle in. I like the voice acting and all of that. Definitely could use some normalization. Audio levels need to be dropped a little bit on the music because the monster yelling, it was, again, got my attention like the scream did in Amore Patris.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's too much. I don't know. And I had questions like I don't who are all these people? How does this work together? I mean, it was more like a head scratcher. Like, okay, the significance, and I guess one of these guys becomes the Frankenstein monster. So I'm left with more questions and more head scratching than I am with like, okay, I want to back this.
Right. All right. So here's what I took away. Number one, the the artwork and the premise are already super cool. I'm interested right away just when I read the tagline. I feel like setting the tone of like a little bit of mystery with maybe one or two of these lines of conversation at the beginning could work, but I'm slowly jumping forward here until I get to the point that we see this is our first bit of action. This was at 1 minute in. And so that means a whole minute of lead up and conversation. And I don't know that most people would linger on quite that long. I don't know. You guys in the comments, let me know what you think. But at this point, like right about here, we see that something has come in and there's chaos going on. I don't really know what. I didn't even read this text right here. To force an infamous lab assistant.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like these sort of broken sentences kind of, make me forget what the last sentence said.
Yeah. They're just kind of like fragments that don't, I mean, I guess they kind of play into it, but there's no real, it's a weird disassociation of like, okay, so lab assistant. So I'm expecting some lab assistant, but then we get like, the room of bodies. So I'm with you.
I feel like somewhere around this point, right around the 1 minute mark, the last 45 seconds is the really intriguing stuff. The stuff that people are gonna be like, okay, that looks like what I'm getting for, because they're gonna get the build up and the conversation when they read the book. And so I don't know that I need all of it. Maybe, like I said, a line here, and then let's jump in with, the Frankenstein's monster picture, and some good shots of action, which you have here, and kind of let us know the premise and call it done.
I mean, I honestly,
that's my opinion.
I think you would almost, if you're going to start off with a bang, I open with him kicking in the door, and
yeah, I mean that's a great opener.
It's a great opener. I would have something maybe as a title card, or my beloved had just come home, and then all hell broke loose, and then cut right directly into him kicking in the door right there. So yeah. I mean, I would do a title card for 5, maybe 6 seconds. Cut to that. I would lose the in between. Because, like you said, we're gonna get that anyway. We know something's gonna happen, but if it's about the monster, focus on the monster. I don't think you're giving anything away by having it up front. We all know it's coming because it's in the title. So focus on your branding a little bit more on the monster versus everything going on around him, because that's kind of what you're selling. We're kind of already on board. Like you said, I'm curious. I want to read this. I like the premise. Give me more monsters.
I mean the premise itself is already intriguing. Like, and then of course the other thing that this one does really well is show some amazing artwork. So then we got this cover here. It's a beautiful looking cover. This is like what we saw on the Kickstarter card. Zombies below, but then we have this one riding a zombie horse. Very cool looking cover. And let's see if it gives us some quick breakdown here. Issue 5 of Confederate Monsters coming soon from creator Dave Schwartz. In the next installments of Frankenstein meets Civil War, our heroes, Victor and Daniel, are now joined by the original Frankenstein monster to embark on the long journey to the White House to warn President Lincoln of the army of undead Confederates headed this way. This is 20 pages of full color interiors, written, illustrated, and designed by Dave Schwartz. So one man army doing a lot of this work. I can relate to that. I did that for.
Yeah, I don't know where you got that from. I mean, the art on this is great. I could honestly see Schwartz as like an artist for the main two. I really, the art on this is really, really good.
Mm-hmm. So then we have like a preview section from issue 5, so we can kind of see, some of the action that's happening, the artwork, and it looks great. I really love the style. It's almost like an animated style. Really fits. I like the coloring as well. Like these purples and greens are looking great together, really popping, and then you've got the yellow balancing it out.
Yep.
So a very good understanding of color harmonies. Look at that shot.
Yeah, see, that's
gratuitous.
Perfect. I love it.
So this is the kind of stuff down here that, I definitely like, I want this. And I think some of this stuff was probably more of a selling point, because honestly, like when you talk to people about what they're interested in, the zombies, like the people who like zombie stuff, obviously that's the thing. They want to see people fighting zombies. They get caught up in the story once they start reading it. I mean, that's the way The Walking Dead was. It pitched as a zombie story, but then you get attached to Rick and all the other characters. So I think that this whole thing is an absolute bombshell of a product. I think that maybe the opening hook of at least this particular video is a little off for me. I want to just feel it, but like I said, the last half of it's right on target. I love the idea of, you were saying, like kicking down the door is the opening card. That's a great one.
I think that's the best way to go, because there's still like another minute left to that video.
Yeah, it was like 45 more seconds. So,
So
let's take a look at the rewards over here. We've got a featured bundle, which gets a whole bunch of stuff for $30. But down below, we got a $8 digital PDF, $14 physical, an early bird bundle for $26. So that's physical and digital copies of 5 prints, stickers, coasters, so on and so forth. Then we have a digital catch-up. Get all the PDFs of Confederate Monsters, which is 136 pages of story, and a 20-page prequel for $32. I was hoping that they had that, because I was like, this is 5 issues in. We got to get the rest. Then there's a physical catch-up. So that one's $60. A commission level, a little tiny commission for $70 plus issue 5.
That's a deal. I like that.
Yeah, especially considering like it looks like either trading card size or maybe a little. It says, yeah, it is 2.5 by 3.5. So that's a good deal, because you also get the book and a PDF of the book. So pretty great deal there. And going down all the way to the bottom, looks like the biggest one is a mini commission of 5x7 for like $20 more. I would probably go with that one. And so,
what's goal on this?
The goal was, or is, $3,000, and they're at $2,092 right now. So, like I said, a little over 66%. So, Out of Touch one says, this sort of reminds me of Reanimators with the twist of the Civil War. Yeah. And somewhere down here, he said, this is basically the take on Frankenstein, but 8 years after the events of the original Mary Shelley story. So, apparently the Mary Shelley story occurred close to the same time of the Civil War. So, I don't know.
Don't think so, but okay.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know the dates well enough to know how that works. But either way, it doesn't really matter if it's off.
It sets the stage. It's fine. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Also, Jamal's here says, "Can't wait to see you at Colorado Cosmic Con." Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited.
Yep, it'll be a good time.
All right. So, is there anything else that you see here in this campaign? I feel like there's not. There's the mini commission for 90. There's this PDF digital library where you get everything he's ever worked on for 80. Another commission one for 70. And so the highest actual physical tier is $64 for all of the issues plus a 20-page prequel. And so I don't know that I would really call any of these a whale tier.
If I may suggest so.
Mhm.
$200. All right. $200. You get everything in addition to you as a Confederate monster, which I think would be kind of cool. Like on the cover, blank cover. I know I'm like hooked on blank covers today, but I would totally do $200, and because everything else is a great value. So if you're going to make that jump, $200, maybe $250, and you get Confederized in a monster.
Yeah, and I love that idea because that way, even if the creator already has this issue drawn out and finished, it doesn't interfere with him trying to shoehorn in another character. He can just draw it on a blank cover.
Yeah, and I think that would be a great value add. I think it would help, and I would limit it to so you're not busting your ass on it. 5, and I think that would probably help tremendously. It would get some attention, and you can shop it around because I'm sure people would jump on the chance to be, drawn in a Confederate monster style. And even
I would take that farther and say a sketch cover drawn, like you said, but then also with all of the physical books and all of the digital books for like $300-400.
Yeah, I don't see
throw the whole thing in there. Because here's the thing, we've talked about this before. The whole point of a whale tier is that it's a good chance nobody's going to get it, but if they do, it's going to launch you like into the stratosphere real fast. And so that's kind of the point of putting it on there. Yep. Remember, boys and girls, we had someone with a $10,000 tier once,
which would have worked too. But I mean, I don't
actually know if someone got that tier or not. I don't know that they did, but I had to give props for them trying it.
Such a good idea. And and since then we have been very focused on, okay, what's the whale tier? So I mean, they kind of inspired us to like, oh, we do need to focus on this. It's something we hadn't thought about at that point.
All right. I need to real quickly scrounge and find me a clean piece of paper here.
This week is tough. Holy crap.
Yeah, I agree. This one's a little tougher. So it's time for us to vote on which one we're going to back this week. And let us know which one you feel like you would support. And if you do feel like you would support it, then go do it. Go support it. Go throw some money at it. Also, don't forget some of the ones that I mentioned at the beginning who are about to end their campaigns. Like Immortal Era. They're only a few hours away. So, again, we've got Amor Patris. I don't know if I'm saying that right. If I am messing that up, please forgive me. The supernatural horror book, very beautifully drawn, a little bit slow on the video, but beautiful. Then we had Phenomenova, the World War III son of a war hero, and then Confederate Monster. And again, I am a bit torn as well. We might have something on the wheel today.
You might.
So I'm trying to go strictly on the presentation, what we were given, all the information, and which one would have hooked me. So I think I got it.
Okay. And I too am on the same criteria, trying to. As best as I can.
because all of them had kind of a similar struggle. All three of them started off like slow videos.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm ready. All right, we got in the comments section. We got some people responding. I'll show those up in just a second. Let's hit the drum roll, please. Are you ready? 1,
Ready.
2, 3. Oh, look at that. We have different answers, ladies and gentlemen. That means we're going to the wheel.
You see that rosary bleeds right there.
Rosary bleeds. I like it. All right.
And if
While
you know
I'm
what movie that is from, I will send you a 5280 Geek sticker.
all right, I gotta clear out this list of stuff and put in. We got Confederate Monster. What? Why aren't you
and that was no easy decision. Let's make that perfectly clear. I mean, they're running neck and neck.
Yeah, they were all very similar in that they all had good information. They all had a video. They all had a very similar presentations all the way around. It was really just a matter of which one gave me the information that hooked me. So, all right, let me share this tab. All right, we've got the two that were chosen by us, Amor Petrus and Confederate Monster. So when it gets to the black and red line on the other side, I'm going to hit this button, and we're going to see who is going to be the winner of this week. Ready, set, go. Oh, looks like you win. Amor Patris, you have won. Congratulations. So, stop sharing that one. Go back to full screen. Congratulations again. This was a tough decision this week. We had a lot of good videos, a lot of good stuff. You guys are doing a great job presenting. Keep up the good work. If you guys are watching, be sure and go check these campaigns out. Give them some love, some support. Some of these guys are just really close to goal, and we want to help them hit their goals. So thank you guys so much. If you like this show and you want to see more, be sure and like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 1 million viewers, and we're so close. So close. Be sure to like on YouTube, Matt Cable Art. Hit the subscribe button. Also, if you want to be in the running to be on the Wheel of Destiny, be sure and follow on Action Line Studios on Facebook. Each week we post up a new post where you can submit links. But if you miss that, you can always message me directly or post it in the comments section of one of our videos. I get notified for all that stuff. But that's where you go. Submit your live campaigns. For those of you that submitted and your campaigns are still live next week, I'll probably just carry those over and keep them on the wheel. Let's see. What else? Where can they find you, Smurf?
I am all over the place. 5280.
He is all over the place.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. On YouTube, actually, I also am part of the Colorado Festival of Horror, so I have some interesting interviews with some impressive celebrity horror icons. Pam Grier, Art the Clown from Terrifier. We did a sit down with David Howard and Damien. So if you are a horror fan, go over to the 5280 Geek YouTube. Check that out. Every week I do my top 5 with my take on comics. There's always something for somebody. And my own podcast where I do see what's going on in the Geekverse and kind of fill you in along with some observations I have made along the way.
All right. Well, thanks again for joining us. Hope you guys learned something. Hope it was helpful. Tune in at the same time next Friday for more exciting info and tips on how to be successful on Kickstarter and crowdfunding your comic. So on that bombshell.
And on that bombshell, come check us out at CosmicCon this weekend. Matt will be there. I will be wandering about. So come by, say hi, kissing baby, shaking hands. because that's what we do in this community. Until then, run fast, laugh hard, and always be kind. Good night!